to use creative license or not? That is the question. For the most part, the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone movies stayed true to the source material. However, director Chris Columbus did make a few changes that only the most die-hard fans would have noticed. Surprisingly, one of them was removing Hermione's best moment from the book, something that shocked many fans. After encountering the giant chess set, Harry and Hermione face one more challenge: trying to figure out the riddle of 7 potions to break Snape's protective barrier of the stone. While Harry stands around with his hands in his pocket and does nothing, it's actually Hermione who decodes the riddle through her sheer genius.
What an idiot.
In the movie, though, Harry faces off against Quirrell right after the giant chess set. That entire potion scene was completely left out. Now, sure, the movie isn't called Hermione Granger and the Philosopher's Stone, but it was a crucial moment that could have added a little bit more to her character arc here. It would have shown how she was always the brains of the operation, and Harry needed her to help complete the challenges. At least the other movies gave her a chance to show what she was made of. And remember Aunt Petunia and Dudley Dursley?
What happened?
I swear I don't know!
While their sniveling character traits are spot on and true to their terrible form, they experienced a Hollywood makeover to their appearances. Though, in the grand scheme of things, it isn't that much of an issue because, let's be honest here, no one really cared much for them. The book described mother and son as having blonde hair, but their hair color is much darker and closer to black in the film. You know, pretty much matching their souls. Obviously, they aren't the only characters to receive changes in their appearances, since Emma Watson's Hermione also doesn't have the buck teeth or extra bushy hair as she does in the books, while Harry doesn't have the green eyes that he's most famous for. The Dursleys' changes, however, are far more striking for anyone who read the original story. But this wasn't the only difference to the unlikable family in the Philosopher's Stone. While they were never really keen on doing anything for Harry, they are actually the ones who take him to King's Cross in the book. Sure, they don't stick around and see if he actually made his way safely onto the train, but they still dropped him off and said, "Sayonara, boy who lived." In the film, though, it's Hagrid who takes Harry to get everything he needs from Diagon Alley, then drops him off at King's Cross. In all likelihood, this sequence of events was accelerated to save some time in the movie. After all, it's not like the filmmakers could cover absolutely every single detail from the novel and have Harry wait anxiously for a month before he goes to Hogwarts, but it would be cool if they did. You know what else was awesome, though? Peeves the Poltergeist. In the book, he's the source of much amusement, with his pranks and crazy sense of humor being the comic relief you need in between the drama and stories about he who must not be named. But in the movie, oh wait, there is no Peeves in the movie. The Poltergeist is just nowhere to be found.
That's totally barbaric.
But why? The late British comedian Rick Mayall had actually been cast to play Peeves in the film, but he was cut after only 3 weeks of filming. No one knows the reasons why his scenes were left on the cutting room floor, but Rick wasn't left too impressed by the decision and publicly trashed the movie afterwards. Yikes! Doesn't seem like there was much fun and humor there, does it? Talking about other moments that changed, fans were lucky enough to see the sorting hat in the movie. Much like in the book, it played an important part in putting Harry in the right house and keeping him away from those Slytherin jerks. That being said, the magical hat was deprived of one of its biggest moments as experienced by readers of the book. You know, the part where the hat recites a song. While no fan expected it to deliver the next Bohemian Rhapsody on screen, it would have been great to see the sorting hat break out into a number and get our feet tapping. Maybe the filmmakers decided to save the song and dance for the Broadway musical. Who knows? Harry's scenes also didn't go according to Rowling's original plans. One of the most touching scenes in The Philosopher's Stone is when Harry stands in front of the mirror of Erised and sees his parents standing beside him. He experiences joy as his family is finally reunited for a brief moment. You can see in his face that he doesn't feel alone in the world anymore. However, in the book, it wasn't just Lily and James standing next to him, but his whole extended family. Visually, you can understand why the filmmakers took the decision to just focus on Harry's parents here. If there were more people in the scene, you would A, need to cast more actors for the parts, and B, actually explain to the audience who all these folks were. It's far easier in a book to describe a quiet scene featuring multiple characters, whereas a film needs a different approach that shows, not tells. One of the strangest changes, though, was the first meeting of Harry and Draco Malfoy. The film sees Harry encounter his rival only at Hogwarts, taking an immediate dislike to him after he speaks ill of the Weasleys. In the book, though, Harry and Draco meet much earlier. at Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. While getting his robes hemmed, the little brat mentions a few mean things about Hagrid that instantly get under Harry's skin. Then their paths cross again on Hogwarts Express, where Draco tells Harry to not make friends with the wrong sort.
I think I can tell the wrong sort for myself, thanks.
Well, one thing's for sure, no matter where and when he first encountered Draco, Harry disliked the blonde boy immediately. So the consistency of emotion remains the same in both the book and film. However, not all changes are for the worse. In fact, there's a scene in the film that is way better than what originally happened in the book. On Harry's birthday, Vernon Dursley takes his family to a cabin on a rock in the ocean, leaving the boy wizard to celebrate his birthday all by his lonesome. In the book, Harry looks at the watch, counting down the minutes until midnight and wondering if his only family will remember his birthday at all. It's definitely sad and emotional, but the movie takes this heartbreaking moment to the next level. Truth be told, it's a real gut punch. In this version, Harry draws himself a cake on the dirty floor and even writes happy birthday to himself. To make it even sadder, he blows out the candles on this dirt cake all by himself. Honestly, how can you watch this scene and not get choked up? Another good change was to Professor McGonagall. In both versions, she's shown to be a terrific human being who only has Harry's best interests at heart. She's the sort of teacher we all wish we had at school, as she comes across as kind and genuinely caring. However, there is one key difference between McGonagall in the book and in the movie. During the novel, you get a sense that she's genuinely worried all the time. She second guesses every decision and wonders if the action she takes is the right one. While in the movie, you don't really get that impression of her. In fact, she has a lot more sass and isn't afraid to use it.
Perhaps it would be more useful if I were to transfigure Mr. Potter and yourself into a pocket watch. That way one of you might be on time.
Her exchanges with everyone are downright hilarious, and you simply can't get enough of them. The addition of sass just made her character that much more memorable and created some unforgettable moments for the audience. Credit to the screenwriters for enhancing this characterization. Want to find out more about Harry Potter and all the weirdest things cut from the books? Then check out our magical video. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and stay awesome.